Costa's getting so upset because he saw a style bender dead to him, you know.
I saw
but
that.
I'm like, dude, you were the one talking so much, and then he gets you at the end, and now you're mad, you know, because he embarrassed you. Like, come on, man, roast some balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, man up to that. It is what it is. You know, you can't demand a rematch after that type of performance either. It's not smart. That is not going to sell. That's for sure.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years ago, I was on my friend's rooftop in Manhattan watching him. I think he was fighting Chael, and I was like, man, I would love to, you know, train with that guy. I was saying train with that guy. I didn't say fight that guy. And of course, as time went on, I was like, all right, you know, it'd be a good opportunity to go up against one of the greats. And plus, you know, they were comparing me to him. So
that's true.
And fast forward, the opportunity came, and it didn't happen because 3 days prior, he had to have a gallbladder surgery.
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, all right. And then I just kind of kept going, and the universe somehow just kept connecting us. I would see him in some of my videos if I'm fighting. We had a moment where we saw each other. I think it was the night that he lost to Chris Weidman. I don't remember which one of the fights, but I was fighting, who's that redheaded fella?
Ed Herman?
No.
I don't even know if you thought Ed Herman.
No. Anderson Silva.
We're naming all the gingers.
not actual redhead, but like he dyed his hair red.
Oh, my bad. Oh, you're thinking about Chris Leben.
Chris Leben, yes.
Yeah.
Jesus. So Anderson fought Chris Leben on his first fight in the UFC. I fought Leben on his last fight. And I think I remember fighting Chris Leben. We saw each other backstage, and Anderson he looked at me, and it was like a back and forth gesture. And I knew what it meant, you know. It was more like believing myself. And it was a cool moment. And I just remember that being an awesome moment between us. So the universe always kept aligning us. It's going to happen. I have a ton of respect for the guy. I am fortunate to be in this position. I'm happy about it. You know, he's my idol that became my rival. It's a great story.
What is happening with Conor McGregor? I'm just gonna make it as simple as that. What is happening with him right now?
I have no idea. We've offered him a fight. We got him his own date. You know, he said, you know, you guys saw everything that happened on social media. He didn't have a date this year. We have everything laid out for the rest of the year with world champions fighting for titles. He wants to fight Dustin Poirier apparently. So we went to ESPN. We got him his own date and everything. He's been offered the Dustin fight on January 23rd.
And since then, he has come out and said he accepts that offer, but it has to be in 2020. Do you understand why?
I don't know anything. I offered him the date on January 23rd. That's it.
Are you open to trying to get him into 2020, or there is no space available in 2020?
I offered him the date on January 23rd.
I know that, you know, sometimes we get into these situations where, like, I believe that I have, you know, some kind of grasp on why you want it. But there are going to be fans out there who are watching this interview that say, well, if Conor McGregor wants to fight, why can't you move some people around? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? Why can't you make it so that Conor McGregor can fight?
Because that's not how it works. We laid out this year. He was retired. Would anybody disagree that he was retired?
I mean, I think there were people who didn't believe he was truly retired, but yes, he was and is retired, I suppose, yeah.
So through this crazy, you know, pandemic year that we're going through, you know, we faced a lot of challenges. We got a lot of things done. We made this thing work. We made it happen. We have our schedule laid out. Fighters have committed to it. Fighters have started training for these camps, for these fights. And, you know, Conor came back and said he wants to fight. He wants to fight Dustin. So we went out and got him his own date, January 23rd.
Then shortly after that, it seems like that ship has sailed and they're just kind of sticking with Chandler as the backup fighter. Khabib Gaethje are going to fight on October 24th. Then all of a sudden, around 2 weeks ago, something develops online with you and Conor McGregor where he writes to you offering you an opportunity to have this boxing sparring match in Dublin for charity. When he threw this out to you, did you think it was a real thing? Like, were you just kind of going along with it, or did a part of you think like, yeah, I could pull this off, we can make this happen?
I thought it was real when he reached out, but he wanted to do MMA. I thought it was going to be boxing or something. He wanted to do like an MMA sparring exhibition, you know, I think 3-5s or something like that, and broadcast it. What's crazy is NBC Sports, I think NBC Sports reached out to me and an agency I work with. They wanted the TV rights to it. Things started moving. As soon as he said that and I said, let's do it, people started reaching out for streaming platforms, and it was crazy, man. He's got some eyes on him for sure.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. But then it seemed like obviously the UFC caught wind of this, and their line of thinking was, well, we have 2 UFC fighters, you know, fighting in a quote-unquote charity sparring. Like, we're just going to have this fight under our umbrella and our octagon. So then it seemed like they were interested in making this fight happen and offered it to Conor McGregor. Have you been offered this fight?
No, I haven't formally been offered anything.
What do you make of that?
I think that the Conor's side of the deal might be the tougher part to get done, and once that's done, they might come to me. I don't know, man. They know I want to fight. They know I want to fight this year, whether it's Conor, whether it's Tony. They know I want to fight.
But considering how, you know, the last opportunity kind of fell by the wayside because of the fact that you guys weren't on the same page contractually, it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going to be like, hey, Dustin, you're fighting Conor on X date, let's go, right? Like, there's going to have to be some negotiations involved, correct?
Well, the dates that are open that we were looking at, I think, was November, end of November, which is a short time, or December, which would be a full training camp. I don't think it's going to be like in the next 2 weeks or anything like that. Other than that, I think the time frame makes sense. You know, 6 to 8 weeks or so.
I just mean about your pay.
We gotta, you know, whenever they call, and we'll talk about it.
Okay, so Conor is pushing, it seems like, for a fight in 2020, right? They've offered him January 23rd, but it seems like he'd prefer to fight on either the November 21st card or the December 12th pay-per-view, or maybe just create a new pay-per-view for him, which they did at the beginning of the year. I don't think that's an option right now. If you had your way, if it was up to you, which date is most ideal?
The 12th, the 19th, if they create a new date on the 19th, or I think they have a card, then maybe turn that into a pay-per-view, whatever they do. In December would be great, because I'm already here in Florida. I'm back out here training. It would give me enough time to prepare for that style of fight. But like I said, I'm here training. I don't have an opponent, so I'm just training, trying to get better, working on my skills, not specifically for an individual, just overall game. But I want to fight. I think December makes sense.
I don't give a